Start about Baltimore Ravens. They stomped the Steelers. I would never think in any day, me doing sports talk, I'd have a game in which we're talking Pittsburgh Steeler defense gives up 299 yards rushing. That's what they did. Baltimore just, and Pittsburgh just had no answer. Derrick Henry had 186 on the ground. Lamar Jackson, 125 through the air, and he ran for 82 more. Baltimore's offense piled up 464 yards against the Steel Curtain defense. Steelers are the highest paid defense in the NFL, and they got trashed. The bigger issue is Pittsburgh's pedestrian offense. They could not move the football. They could not run the football. They don't have big pass plays down the field. You can't live with the tight end driven offense. Mike Tomlin has taken enormous heat in Pittsburgh. Tomlin, of course, has never had a losing season in 18 years, but Tomlin has gone 6 games in a row with playoff losses. Steelers have not won a playoff game in 8 years. However, the Steelers indicated vote of confidence this morning. Mike Tomlin remains as the coach. What I think Pittsburgh has to do is hit the reset button as to what kind of players they're going to draft or sign in free agency that is going to change the offense, because they can't run a Neanderthal offense in this modern day NFL offense where everybody's heaving the ball down the field and everybody's got speed. Steelers have also got to make a decision what they're going to do about the latest bad citizen at wide receiver, George Pickens. He may be a great individual talent, but after a while, you get tired of the Antonio Brown tactics and the Deontay Johnson incidents and George Pickens' unhappiness. Maybe it's time to move on from that guy. Like I say, hit the reset button, because they really needed a lot of help on offense to complement what they've got on defense. So you got the Ravens pounding Pittsburgh. Buffalo. At the end of the day, they are who they are, which is really good, really deep, really diverse. Denver had a really collectively good season in terms of growth. Kid quarterback, rebuilt offensive line, finally unlocked the mystery of what their wide receiver core should be, the growth of Bo Nix, and a defense that had 63 quarterback sacks and 29 takeaways this season. I thought Denver took this thing as far as they could, but they were playing the Bills and they were playing in Buffalo, and that was hard. Josh Allen, 272, couple of touchdowns. James Cook, who in one calendar year has emerged as an explosive running back, had 120 yards rushing. The Bills outgained Denver 424 to 224. So at the end of the day, Buffalo continues its drive towards greatness. Denver, I think, took a huge step forward with Sean Payton and Bo Nix. They're going to have to need more players. Philadelphia destroys Green Bay. The Mean Green defense, 3 picks, interception, 2 sacks, and just created mayhem around the quarterback, Jordan Love. Saquon Barkley, 119 rushing. Jalen Hurts, they handled him with kid gloves. Don't run the football. He, of course, had the concussion issues. He's got 131 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Dallas Goedert. Did you see him catch that ball, the tight end, out in the flat and roar down the field, stiff arm, stiff arm, stiff arm, and then drag guys into the end zone? That's who the Eagles are. That's how the Eagles play. Jordan Love was, I thought, overwhelmed, 3 for 212, but the three interceptions, stage a little bit too big for him, and they lost 6 players in the game with injuries. They lost 2 starting offensive linemen. They lost 2 wide receivers, including Romeo Doubs, again with another concussion. Then they lost one of their linebackers. Green Bay was just never in the game per se. The stage for them was too big. I sit there and I watch a lot of NFL football. I can't remember a game in which I sat there and watched on TV and said, I can't wait for the next possession. I can't wait to see what this quarterback's going to do after what that quarterback just did. What a shootout. Washington wins the shootout on the Sun Coast. Jaden Daniels makes all the plays for the Commanders. Baker Mayfield left his heart on the field, but he lost a football at the end of the game that resulted in the game-winning touchdown, but he played his guts out too. Washington's got a collective of so many role players that are not household names that step up and make a pile of plays. And Zane Gonzalez, street free agent kicker, 3 field goals and doink, last field goal that ricochets up the upright and goes in. Washington, first playoff win since 2005. Now, that was a fun game because I couldn't wait to see what Jaden Daniels was going to do with the ball. And I couldn't wait to see what Baker Mayfield would do in response. And those two guys lived up to the billing. So, John, my thoughts on the games over the weekend. Your thoughts, Ravens, Bills, Eagles, Commanders.
Yeah, the first 3 games are just beatdowns. And Derrick Henry, man, that guy is special. And we kind of knew the Ravens were going to roll in that game. But for Pittsburgh, what are they going to do at quarterback? I mean, you can't go long-term with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. They got to make a move, right?
It's a big issue in Pittsburgh. But there's a monster of issues, and they're all on the offensive side of the football. Russell Wilson had stretches in midseason in which he played pretty well, but they don't have enough firepower. They don't have enough weapons. They don't have enough skill, speed guys. They need to go get that. They need to, as I said, hit the reset button as to the type of, quote, player they're going to get, and they need to get rid of the trouble people, Pickens included. So Pittsburgh's got a lot of work to be done. I still think you can win with Russell Wilson if you give Russell Wilson more skill guys. They don't have skill guys, and they got an old quarterback. So that side of the ball, Pittsburgh's got a lot of trouble.
He looks old, though. Russell Wilson looks old to me. Like, moving on, the Bills game, yeah, they're loaded. Josh Allen is special as well. I really liked how Denver took some risks early on in that game. Had that fake punt. They were going for it on 4th down. Good for those guys. But, Bo Nix, rookie, making it this far in that game, I'm rooting for that kid.
Oh, I did. Bo Nix. It's just, he's gifted, and he's confident, and he's ballsy, and he's athletic, and he's got a cannon for an arm. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He has to scramble a lot to make plays. But he's the reason they were ever in the playoffs. He's the reason they won 9 games during the course of the season. Now, they need to add more things there. But, you take Sean Payton's intelligence in his playbook with Bo Nix's intelligence and just his style. That's a pretty good combo. Got to get more players there in Denver.
Yeah, and then the other 2 games, I mean, yeah, Philly rolled, but in the Washington Buccaneers game was special. First of all, I'm happy Washington won. It's been forever since they won a playoff game, and it was funny seeing the Doink go in. Did you see the kicker? Like, he was coming on the field and he was like messing with his hair. I mean, the nerves going through that young man must have been just off the chart. Thank God it went through.
And he's been on a street a lot. He's probably been with 5 teams, although that's the life of a kicker. Suddenly you wake up one morning and it all clicks. You know what to do and you know how to handle it, whether it's the pressure or it's the mechanics of being a field goal kicker. But I mean, Zane Gonzalez has been all over the parking lot. He's got a lot of stickers on his suitcase of different teams he's gone to camp with. But that was pretty cool. And Jaden Daniels, is he the real deal?
Yeah, he's fun. I mean, he is the real deal.
Okay, so those are the playoff games.